Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Elham Shafai, Director at IAR Projects Online Art Foundation. I would like to take my chance to welcome all of you to the Sense of Place, an art talk proceeds of the artist residency and exhibition with the same theme at IAR Projects. I had the privilege of spending almost a month with 5 wonderful artists during the artist residency. Aysha Aldhaheri from UAE, Fadillah Ghani from Malaysia, Marjan Shariat from Iran, Moza Falasi from UAE, and Nuria Gonzales Alcaide from Spain, but currently based in Singapore. I witnessed the development of their projects. Of course, we discussed a lot from the beginning until the end of the residency, and we had a few sessions with wonderful critics. And I can say we learned from each other a lot. Today, we are here to listen to these wonderful artists, their experiences, how they develop their projects, and of course, the whole thing about the Sense of Place project. I would like to show a video of the exhibition first, and then we will start our conversation with our wonderful artists. All right, so just we saw the video, and I would like to start a conversation. I don't want to keep you busy here and keep you waiting. And I would like to start from Nuria, because Nuria was the first one to join us today. And hi, Nuria, are you here?
Hello, yes, I'm here. Nice
Hi.
to see you.
Yeah,
How
good
are
to
you?
see you. Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, finally we made it happen, and I'm really glad to see all of you. So I would
Yeah.
like to ask you, Nuria, could you please introduce yourself?
Yes, I am from Barcelona, Spain. I am an abstract visual artist. I am self-taught. I made some few courses. I have another training, previous 7 years as a chef is my other work. And then I leave behind that 3 years ago and I started developing my art career. I focus my main obsession, I think, is the color. I work on the color and I am very intuitive while working on the painting, on the canvas, and on the paper.
Wonderful. So actually, and I want what the order of today's talk. I would like to ask, questions from 5 of you in the row, right? So just I'm not gonna talk to to each of you for a long time, because I want also we have some sort of like comparison, and it would be very interesting for the audiences, just how 5 different artists from different parts of the world, just develop their careers, develop their art projects, and just how things are. So just that comparison, somehow I found it more interesting. Thank you, Nuria. I will get back to you, and I would like to say hi to Fadillah. Hi, Fadillah.
Hi.
Hi, how are you? Good to see you.
Hi.
Yeah, just
Thank you.
introduce yourself, please.
Okay. Hello. My name is Fadillah Ghani. I'm an artist based in Malaysia. Currently, I'm in my final year degree in fine arts. I'm majoring in sculpture and minoring in painting. And I can say that right now I play a lot with mixed media. I try various mediums, but I think oil painting and also sculpture is what I'm working toward it. And my art session started like 5 years ago with my diploma. That is where I like very serious producing artworks. Today here I am with you guys.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the introduction. But Fadillah, I think you have some sort of connection issues because your voice was not that clear somehow. If you have, yeah, just if you can do something with that while I'm talking to other artists, please do. But yeah, just thanks for being here with us today. Okay, next we are going to talk to Aysha. Hi, Aysha.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine, good to see you today. Please introduce yourself.
Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Aysha Aldhaheri. I'm a visual artist based in United Arab.
Can you guys quiet?
Fadillah, can you mute yourself? Okay. Okay, Aysha, go ahead.
Okay, I'm a visual artist based in United Arab Emirates. I'm a student in Zayed University. I'll be graduating next year. My work revolves around mixed media and textile art. I like to experiment the scenes in the UAE by exploring and having like different techniques and using different materials in my artwork. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Wonderful. And Marjan, are you here?
Hi, Ilham. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Marjan. How
How
are
are
you?
you?
Good.
Thanks. Thank you.
Can you please introduce
Okay.
yourself?
Yeah, I'm
But you don't have
Marjan.
a video. Is your video on, Marjan? I mean, we
Yeah.
cannot see you. Okay. Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Sorry. Hi, everyone. I'm Marjan. I'm from Iran, and I'm a physical painter. I studied painting at Art University, and I'm glad to see you in this period of time. And thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, Marjan. Moza.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Moza. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Moza Falasi. I'm an Emirati artist based in Dubai. I graduated with a BFA degree in visual arts, and I'm passionate about horse riding, poetry, and I participated in various exhibitions, one of which was the 2023 Sikka Art Fair in Dubai. So that's it about me.
Thank you, but I don't know, that's by purpose, but we cannot see you also. I would like everyone, whole world to see this wonderful artist later on when we are going to have the video out on YouTube. Okay, so just thanks for all the introduction, and we are going back to Nuria. And I'm going to ask the first question. I mean, yeah, just that one. The previous one was just introduction. So just I'm going to start the questions. Can you share the driving force behind your practice in general? I'm talking about, just because you're artist since long ago. So what is the driving force behind your practice?
My main, as I said before, obsession or driving force is the color. I only work with primary colors. So I go to the shop, I only buy yellow, red, and blue, white, black, brown. From that, I start creating. There are endless possibilities with the color, and every time I'm figuring out and I'm seeing there are more colors and more possibilities to do with them. And also, I like to talk or to say about the thought, about the human thought, how our thought resonates in our body and how evolves and makes us shape as humans.
Okay, so just may I know, like, have you already done any like internal somehow research why that is, like, just those primary colors are important to you, where that comes from?
I think because it's basic. It's like you start counting 1, 2, 3. When you start painting, you start with yellow, red, and blue, right? And I feel it was too easy to just go to the shop and buy. I want this kind of green. I want this kind of purple. It's more challenging to try to find. I see a color in the sky or in the landscape, and I want that color. So I want to make it myself. I mean, I'm a creator. So it's very challenging to try to find, I don't know, 100 different oranges that there are, no? That's
true. Yeah. Yeah, that's very interesting actually to hear that from you, and I'm sure that has like a strong connection with your identity, your personality, and yeah, so just all of those get together and make sense. And thanks for sharing that with us, Nuria. And is there anything else you want to talk about this, or you're done talking?
No, I'm fine.
Okay, all right. Welcome. Fadillah, are you here?
Yes. Can you hear me? Loud
Yes.
and clear?
Yes. Okay, so the next question is, can you share the driving force behind your practice?
Okay, I've been in like the science stream education for quite some time, and I can say that I have this like needs or push to create. Like I want to create, I need to do something. I have lots of ideas, but I don't have the platform to like pouring out my ideas. So when I start focus on being serious in art scenes, I find that I have the platform to create, and I use this art platform to deliver my thoughts, to deliver my message or questioning about social stuff. So arts become a place for me to communicate my thoughts, and a place that I find interesting because every time I create, I find something new. So I think the driving force is basically the idea that I have, that I always have, and the driving force is basically being able to create something. Because if I'm not creating something, I feel stuck. I don't feel free. So using arts or using arts for creative industry helped me to like explore myself and even spark conversation on certain issues. So basically, that is the driving force.
That's very interesting. So, how you are trying to explore and express yourself and feel safe and free at the same time when you are creating artworks. Yeah, wonderful. Is there anything else, Fadila, you want to add to this question?
I think I want to add that I think everyone is an artist. Everyone has their artistic perspective or artistic inner child in them. But because we are bombarded by being adult, like we have to work and have money, something like that. So we tend to ignore our creativity. We tend to ignore our creativity and like stop being creative. And I think that it is important for everyone to know that it is safe for you to be creative even if you are an adult. It is safe for you to create something during your leisure time or maybe as your work and gaining money from that. So I want to emphasize that even though you are 18 years old or 80 or 70 years old, you can still create something and produce something extraordinary, something beautiful, and it's help you see yourself, and it's help you to kind of to express yourself more and better.
Thank you. Yeah, actually, that's a very good point you mentioned that. and everyone should listen to that. Thanks for the advice. Thank you so much, Fadillah. And I would like to move to Aysha and ask the same question. What is the driving force behind your practice, Aysha?
The driving force behind my artist practice is actually from a deep passion of the subject matter and like the desire to express and have a communication of my concept with my viewers. I am driven by the need to like explore like with the different materials and techniques and concepts. And I would say I want my artworks to like capture to like capture and aim to transport the viewers to this landscape that I am working with by carefully selecting the colors, as I always work with color theories, and like talk about the texture. I'm inspired by the natural hues, and I actually wanted to create a visual narrative from like the sensations of the places around me.
Thank you very much, Aysha, for explaining to us. Actually, that is very interesting to hear from you, and that's very important. Like how we find connection, how we try to explore, how to try express, and also just how our audiences are going to react, or just how they are viewing just what we've done. That is also very important. Thank you very much, Aysha. Is there anything else you want to add?
I actually wanted to add is that when I want to create art, I want the viewers to connect by their emotions. So yeah, I try to create art that is relatable for everyone.
Okay, so I would like to ask you now because you mentioned that. So how why that is important, first of all, and how you think just because art is very subjective matter, right? So just how you can be sure, just the audiences are going to be connected. And they might be connected, but just how sure you are, just how do you give a guarantee somehow? Yeah,
I
just
feel
because
like
yeah.
I feel like it's important to engage with the viewers as an artist. I try to connect the color theories with emotions and for viewers to see the artwork and having to connect the colors with emotions, I feel like they would have a connection. So yeah.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I just wanted to hear that from you, just how the way, just you go through that. Thank you very
Yeah.
much for clarifying that. And Marjan, are you here?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have the same
Sorry,
question for you. Yeah, tell me.
I should stop my video for a better connection.
Okay, no worries about it. Can you share with us the driving force behind your practice?
Okay, the space that the political situation of my country gave me this idea was formed in my mind. And in this project, uh, uh, I I formed my everything in my mind about her because the situation of Iran that time about hijab um, political situation of Iran, and I combined my design with her because the revolution about hijab, and I combine it in my design and look at hair as a independent element of the body.
Thank you so much, Marjan. I actually, my question was like the driving force behind your practice in general, and not specifically about this project. Do you want to share something else? Marjan? I think we lost her because her connection is not as stable. Okay, we can move to Moza until Marjan join us. Moza, I have the same question for you. And yeah, just what is the driving force behind your practice?
I am a research and process-driven artist, and I'm mainly driven by curiosity to explore different topics using different mediums. So it's mainly the curiosity.
Yeah, I can say, yeah, I found out you're very curious, and yeah, just through whole this progress, I could see how many different mediums or like, just different ways you try to explore, and which is very interesting to me. So is there anything else you want to share? Because it was just, you talk very like, just in one sentence, you finished. Yeah, just is there anything you want to, just discuss further, just explain more? Otherwise, we can, yeah.
Much, but my topics revolve around loss, grief, identity, memory, and I use art as a healing process. So that's also another drive to explore and to work also, to produce art.
That's very interesting. Thank you very much. And yeah, just we are going to move to the next question. And Nuria, I'm going to ask you first. Okay, this is about the residency. And I'm curious to know how you found the residency to be helpful, just to your life, to your art, to your, just whatever you think, just it has some effects.
Yeah, so I like maps a lot, and I always wanted to introduce them to my practice. I never knew how and when, and if I didn't want to make collage. So the residency helped me to think a lot about that and how to introduce it to my practice. It's also, I also create some works. Normally, as I said before, I do very unconscious brush stroke to the paper. And with these works, I had to think about, because they are made from the works I made in those specific places. So the shapes that you will see in the works, they are pre-thought. It's not unconscious, it's conscious thought. So yeah, that's what I learned from and what I work on with the residency.
Thank you so much. Okay, Fadillah, I have the same question for you.
Okay, first of all, I would like to thank Aysha for this wonderful opportunity to go through this one.
Fadillah, honestly, sorry to interrupt, but honestly, I don't really hear. I mean, just
okay. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, it's better. It's much better.
It's better. All right.
Okay.
Okay. First of all, I would like to thank IER Project for this opportunity. It is basically my first residency in art, so it's like a first step for me. And I think the residency helped me a lot in terms of developing my ideas and looks at other artists and see how they mature in terms of idea, in terms of technique or medium that they use. And I really love the parts that we have critic session with a lot of other critics, because it's helped us to see our art from different perspectives. And I love the fact that we have weekly conversation with each other, because with that conversation we can see the other person's growth, and we can it's not compare, it's more to I can say I can compare like my effort, my my eagerness, my excitement, how to produce in our work by looking at others, and this residency also helped me with my networking by knowing you guys from all over the place, and it's very wonderful for a first time experience.
Thank you very much, Fadillah, and I'm really happy IR projects could provide your first ever artist residency. So, and I am wishing for you to get much more opportunities like this in future. And I'm glad it was helpful for you and for your practice. Thank you very much for sharing your experience with us. And Aysha.
Okay, so it's actually my first time to join an online program. At first, I was really hesitant on joining. I felt like I was not ready, but then my friend Selma kept motivating me in joining, and I'm so glad that I joined this program. I felt like since it's a small focused group, I was able to like share my experience and share my artwork really freely, and it really helped me to like experience, and it also motivated me to participate in other programs, and I'm really honored to meet everyone.
Thank you so much, Aysha. We're so glad to have you as our team, as our, for this project. And yeah, so just that's very interesting, just to have a few people. It was the first time for them to join the online residency or even just artist residency. So just I'm really glad you guys could experience with us for the first time. And I'm glad we could provide a safe space for you guys to freely experience, explore, and just go ahead with your projects. And I'm looking forward for more development from you guys in future. Okay, I would like to ask Marjan now. Marjan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I lost my connection and didn't hear the question.
Yeah, okay. So I'll ask you again. I would like to know how did you find the residency to be helpful?
Yeah, I found out the Instagram page, and I'm happy that I was your side, and yes, that's.
Thank you very much. And Moza,
Yes, it's my first residency to join, and I found it a very valuable learning experience, as I was exposed to different approaches to exploring the same concept. So that was really interesting for me to see. And also I was getting the feedback and the critique sessions we had. I enjoyed listening and learning to those sessions.
yeah, wonderful. I'm super glad now. We could provide this platform for you guys to experience. And yeah, this is wonderful. I'm really glad. Thank you very much, Moza, for sharing your experience with the residency with us. And okay, the next question is, Nuria, are you here? I would like to ask, how would you define the sense of place from your perspective?
So for me, a sense of place is to belong to something. Maybe that something is a feeling, or maybe it's something that you can touch. I have moved a lot and live in different countries, and at the end, I always find the sense of place. And it's not because where you are, it's not because with who you are and how your feelings are related to that place. So that's a little bit what I think about the sense of place. So when you can connect with what you feel, it doesn't matter where you are. So you are your owner of your sense of place. So you make it.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And you quote somehow in your in your project, "I'm a map," right? So just yeah, that's somehow totally we could see through your practice and through you yourself, because you are the map and all of us are the map. It doesn't matter, just because that will stay with us. The personality, identities, just wherever we go, just we have all those experiences, and just somehow it's mapping, just projecting, and it's very important. Thank you very much, Nuria. And Fadillah, I would like to hear your answer for this question.
So when first time that I find out about this theme, the sense of place, I try to think beyond tangible place like concrete buildings, and I think that a place can also be defined by the people who make those places meaningful, such as home, workplace. It doesn't matter, or maybe your studio where you share ideas. So in this project, I choose home as my center focus. So from there, I explore what makes my house home. So it's basically my family, my siblings, and I think the sense of place, or the sense of place can also be defined as something intangible. It can be a memory, it can be also people or items around. So it's not only like stick to building or concrete meanings. It can be expanded towards untangible and abstract as well.
Yeah, that's also very important. Like how the way you see the place. You see place in people. In people, you have connections. Just home won't be home without family, without siblings, without parents, right? So just the sense, the sensation, the senses of just place somehow just you found it in people you love, and just are part of your family. And yeah, that's very interesting how the way you see the place. Thank you very much, Fadillah, for sharing your thought. And I would like to ask Aysha. Aysha.
Okay, so I would say the sense of place in my work and in my perspective is defined by my ability to capture and convey the essence of the landscapes in Abu Dhabi. It's where I live. And as an artist, the sense of place is a concept that is really important to me, as I am interested in exploring the ways in which the environment around us shape us, and like focusing on the unique qualities of a focused area, as I will be able to create artworks that are not only visually compelling, but also have a deep meaning for the artwork.
Yeah, that's also very interesting, because that's another perspective.
Yeah.
And so just three of you shared three different perspectives, and just the sense of place for you is different. And this is very interesting to witness for me, because just with different backgrounds, different experiences, different personality, identities, you could look or you could touch different things, which all of those equally important and interesting. And yeah, just as you mentioned, place could be somewhere we grow up. Place could be somewhere, just we are familiar with the landscape. It could be the society. It could be somewhere we feel familiar, and just we feel safe to live there, and we feel safe to make art. We feel connected to it, and it's very interesting. Thank you so much, Aysha. And Marjan, are you
Yeah,
here? Yeah.
yeah.
Can you please answer this question?
Um, I expand my idea by dealing with her. I combine it with my design. I think hair can be a sign of life. Birth begins with a woman, and it is an important element in a woman's sign.
Thank you very much, Marjan. And Moza,
For me, this is a place's sense of belonging that is associated with memories, emotions, and connections to people in a particular environment. So people for me who make the place. So I get connected to a physical place due to the connections to the people of it.
yeah, that's very interesting, and which is true, and it makes a lot of senses. Thank you very much, Moza. And I would like to ask the next question, Nuria. Could you elaborate on how you developed this project? And please share your process in relation to the given theme. So if you have anything you want to share visually with us, I can share. I can allow you to share that. And
Yes, please.
Okay.
I want to share my screen.
All right. Okay. So you can share now.
So for the residency, I start thinking like how I can introduce my maps to my practice, as I said before. And the first thing I did is, okay, I print all the maps of the cities I lived, and I see what the maps are gonna tell me. So I start highlighting the routes, the paths, the ways I did and I made while I was in those cities. Each shape is a particular moment, a particular memory that I have from that place. And going through, I decided that which were the most important cities that that they are still part of me. That was the goal, that they are live inside of me. There is something from that city that is still alive in me. So first is Barcelona, is where I grow, is where I've been born. So I'm from Barcelona. The second one is the Torino in Italy, the north of Italy. It's from where I fell in love, and today I'm married to this person. So it's love. The third city is Stockholm, is where I worked and for almost 1 year and a half. And the work I did there, it marked me as a professional, and it made me the person as I am today as a chef. And then the fourth city is where I am right now, is Singapore, and it's a moment to grow. It's a moment to be very objective. So from all the learnings from those different cities, I want to have what I learned and bring it here, so it's to grow. These are the shapes I took out from each city, from the past, from the memories after work, ice cream, going to school, going to visit my nanny, my wedding trip from my house to the church, like all of these are in here. Then I start to put one of each shape from each city in one work. I made 4 small works in A5 with acrylic and pencil. This is the work in progress I made. I also work on a small color palette. And these are the final works that I did. It's sketches because I never worked this way before. It's always intuitive. And this work, I made it from the shapes that you can see here. I choose one of each city. Also, I chose one color for each city. This was very intuitive. I think this is the only intuitive thing from this work. I felt that city had that color. That's how I make it. And yeah, this is it.
Thank you so much, Nuria. I have a question. How for you being a chef could have some sort of like effect in your painting? So, or like even choices of the colors. Is there any connection there?
I don't think so. Maybe making the colors from scratch. I think is that my relation. Because in the kitchen I do everything from scratch, and maybe that's something I bring with me. But I try to separate. It's like two different persons, and I don't think it's so much very related. But maybe that's
very
the
curious,
thing, like, all the colors.
But yeah, but maybe just we never know. Maybe just if you somehow try to connect those two together, either like just maybe you see something like totally different or extraordinary happen. So just maybe just that could be something you can think about it in future. But yeah, just a part of that. Just that's just a suggestion. Take it or not, that would be up to you. But thank you very much for sharing your progress. Very interesting. But Nuria, can I ask you to read your poem, because you had a poem also, right? Do you have it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can read. I stop sharing and I will read. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Here. Just. Yeah. I start. I walk in my mind where I walk with my feet. I feel in my head everything I felt once in my heart. I feel all the persons I am, but no longer am. I see all those persons as different, but they all live in me.
Thank you so much, Nuria. Is there anything else you want to add? Otherwise, we can move to Fadillah.
No, I feel it just began, like the project.
Yeah. For some reason, I cannot hear you, Nuria. I cannot. Can you guys hear Nuria? Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe. Okay.
Okay, just.
Okay, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. It just began, and I'm thinking like to explore more those shapes in the maps, and to a lot of things.
Yeah, and
more.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see, just where this start point is going to take you, and for sure, just I'm going to follow your practice, your progress in future. And please share those in your social media, then just we would be updated. Thank you so much, Nuria and Fadillah.
So can I share some images? Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so basically I love to work with oil paint, and this like nice squares oil paint is something that I started 2 years ago, but I never finished it. So I put this project artist residency and determined to finish it. So the the residency helped me to see beyond oil paint. So from just presenting or giving oil paint as my final work, this residency helped me to grow and develop my idea better. So there's comes, sorry, how, wait. I- Mm, eh, sorry.
Fadillah, are you just sharing one image or there's something?
Yeah, I want to share more images, but it's
Yeah.
not moving. And I don't know how to get out from this right now.
Okay, maybe stop
Oh,
sharing and start share another image.
okay.
Yeah.
Um, okay, can you? Okay, so from just using all as my final words, I developed my words by including thread. And from our session, a few sessions during this 1 month work, I try to put more depth towards my work. So there's where is the video arts come from, combination of video and so on come from. So throughout the sessions, I learned how to give more depth, how to give more emotions and meaning to my works. So as you guys know that my final work is basically a combination of video arts and also oil paint, and also with the combination of red thread. So I love to see that how a very like usual oil paint turned out completely different final looking. So that is how my work developed from one medium to multiple medium at the end of the day. So yeah, I really like the final ending, the final looks, because for me, this combination of video arts and so they give more meaningful or depth to story or narrative that I'm trying to deliver to the audience about the sensation of this, which is my I think that's all from me.
Okay, thank you very much, Fadillah. And yeah, I also really like that combination between video and painting, and also just those stitches. You put all those paintings together. All of those ideas are very nice, and all of those somehow, excuse me, somehow just help your project to move in a direction you wanted to talk about. And at the end, all of those, the combination made very good sense, and it works really well. Good job, Fadila. And I'm also looking forward to see more from you in near future. And yeah, best of luck. Is there anything else you want to share? Otherwise, we move to Aysha.
Yeah, we can move on to Aysha.
Okay, Aysha.
Okay, I would like to share my screen. Just a minute. Okay, so to develop this project, I went through a process of research, exploration, and experimenting. I was inspired by the enchanting visions of Abu Dhabi Islands. As you can see over here for the three first pictures, I took these pictures in Shariat Island, and the last one is the Arim Island. I wanted to embark on like a transformative journey into the color theory. This was my first experiment. At first, I had a roll of canvas. I painted it using acrylic, and then I started layering transparent paper over it. But after a few days, the paper started to crack up. So after having that critique and having your ideas, I started to change my outcome. I started adding my own poetry related to the islands, which is Arim Island and the Shariat Island. And by studying the natural hues found in the surrounding, I selected and blended colors and textures. Here was my work in progress. I actually stitched the transparent paper with the pottery into the canvas roll, and then I added a tulle fabric to add a texture, and that's it.
Thank you so much, Aysha, for sharing your progress. And I really like those layering, you know, just
Thank
because
you.
that's moved your work to the next level somehow, and also adding those poetries. And do you mind if I ask you to read one of those poems with for us?
Sure. Just a minute. I'm just finding the file I have with the poems. I'm sorry for that. I'm just trying to find it.
Okay, if you think it takes longer time, we can just come back to you.
Okay.
Okay, so just please find it because I want you to read your poem for us. And Marjan.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, okay, good. So
Yeah.
just do you want to share the development of your project, how that happens, the process, and you know, just the relation of your practice, your project with the given thing.
Okay. I use a synthetic hair first. I took a picture of it, and I think the result was interesting. Sorry, please wait for share it. Yeah. Can you see it?
Not, yeah, we can see.
Okay. And I made a video of it. I think I can't share for this time. Then I felt that natural give me a feeling better. And I photographed my friend's hair, and it gave me a better result. And I want to share another picture with natural hair. Yeah. And I think each person's hair is a unique and naturalness of the hair would have improved the result. And that's it. And my project doesn't end here. I will deal with it more.
Thank you so much, Marjan, for sharing your project and your process. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Please stop sharing. Yes. Aysha, have you found your poems before we move
I
to
did,
Moza?
yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so one of the poems I wrote is it's where the sea meets the shore, the sunset sky is a stunning light. Another poem I wrote, the blues of the sky and sea are one. The world is bright like the shining sun, mesmerizing every day.
Thank you so much, Aysha. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Moza, I would like to hear from you.
I began by researching the concept of place itself. So what's written, I started reading some of what's written about it, and then I decided to visit the neighborhood where my parents lived and where I grew up. And I haven't stepped a foot in that neighborhood since my mother died in 2020. And my intention was establishing a connection with my parents through studying their living space and their remnants. And then with time, that the physical space didn't appear as what's in my memory. So I started questioning the reliability of memory, and then researching this concept and the memory formation. And I found that it undergoes frequent re-encoding, so therefore the memories are not stored faithfully. And that was what was guiding the process of the work itself. I decided to use graphite on fabric to mirror the shifting nature of memories, because graphite is subject to constant change. And I'll share some glimpses of the process and experimentation. So I started with painting, as the intention was studying the place itself and featuring the main elements like the patterns and what I saw in the neighborhood, and taking impressions, creating molds, and then making the frottage, which is the rubbing on the fabric using graphite. I also used charcoal, but the final one was graphite. Then I added paint to the graphite itself to reinforce the concept of the changing memories. Yeah, and that's it.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And you also experiment with different fabrics as well, right? You had, as far as I remember, you had 2 different types of fabrics to see which one is a better answer for for your medium. And yeah, just you did a lot, and yeah, very nice progress, and the outcome is wonderful. Thank you very much, Moza. And okay, so I'm going to move to the final question, and that would be Nuria. Are there any upcoming projects you are currently working on, or you have, just next project you're planning to work on? Is there anything you want to share with us?
Yes, I'm working on a new collection. As I just arrived to Singapore, I left all my work in Spain, in Barcelona. Sometimes a bit frustrating to leave your work behind, but it's also like very motivating, because it's like, okay, I'm starting from scratch. I have new possibilities. So I'm releasing a new collection in September. I will exhibit some works here in Singapore in a small cafe. So I want to take that as an opportunity to showcase in other venues also, and to create new work with a new body of work and a new statement. And also I'm exploring the color much more. I'm creating a lot of colors, and I'm also thinking how I can evolve those colors, and how I can implement those colors in my practice or as a new small works, or I'm thinking about that.
Yeah, wonderful. Best of luck, and I'm sure the collection will be wonderful, and I can't wait to see that. Please share that with us later on. And yeah, just it was very amazing to work with you, Nuria. And yeah, just let's be in touch. And yeah, just if there is anything, please add. Otherwise, I move to Fadillah.
Thank you. No, I'm very happy to be part of this, from now be part of art project. I really enjoy it. I learn a lot from all the different artists and from the artist talk and everything. And yeah, I really enjoy it a lot. Thank you for your time.
Amazing, most welcome. Fadillah, what is your answer to the question?
So right now I'm doing my final year project. So my final year project focuses in exploring electronic and video arts. As you can see, this is the progress at the back. So this particular project will showcase next month, July, and on July, September. So this final year project, I basically exploring about illnesses. About if you guys know about tinnitus, it's basically something that you can hear from your brain. It's not something that external. So it's very interesting illness that I explore. So what I'm trying to do is to visualize those illnesses and how you can use art as healing, like Moza said, that arts can also be a healing artwork of items for us. So yeah, that's basically right now I'm looking for my final project.
Yeah, best luck with your final project. And yeah, I would like to see the outcomes of that for sure. And yeah, just I like that the topic and the idea, the concept behind the project as well. And yeah, best of luck, Fadillah. Thank you very much for being with us and help us also for the exhibition. Is there anything else you want to add? And otherwise, we move to Aysha.
I just would like to say that I'm quite sad that the residency ended, but I wish everyone good luck for their you guys' journey, and I hope that we can meet face to face someday, go to Singapore or Abu Dhabi or Moza, and Marjan, or maybe Dr. Ilham as well. So yeah, I really hope to see you guys face to face one day.
Yeah, I hope so too. That happens one day. Yeah. Thank you very much, Fadillah. Aysha.
Okay, so I will be taking my senior research this fall. So I started researching and reading about the topic that I will be talking about, which is childhood memories, relating it with color theory. And I'm still like researching and reading about that topic.
Yeah, very interesting. And yeah, best of luck with that, Aysha.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you want to add?
No.
Okay. Thank you. And Marjan.
Yeah, I'm here. In addition to working on this project, I started a new project which is also related to the Iranian Revolution and the young people we lost. Of course, with new material. And I'm happy that I was with you during this period and gained a lot of experience. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Marjan, and I'm looking forward to see your next project, and I'm sure that would be something amazing. And Moza,
So my plan for the upcoming, like my upcoming plan is to work to extend the project, the residency project, by doing further experimentations, like combining painting and photo transfers on the same fabric of the object rubbings, and also extending the mold creating process.
yeah, wonderful. And yeah, just please keep us updated. And the nice thing about artist residencies, I'm sure you guys experience it now, but just for me, myself, I've joined a few artist residencies before, and just that's the connection, just finding new contacts, finding new artists. You feel, just you can be close to them because for a period of time you work closely to each other, even though this program was online. But I believe, just that make you guys somehow connected because you were working on the same theme and meeting each other twice a week for a period of months in the exhibition and all of this. So just I advise to stay connected, to share your experience, to ask questions, just to work together maybe somehow, even though maybe you are not living in the same country, but that would be possible. And that's opportunity is provided already, and you guys can take it and move it to the next level. And of course, at IR Projects, I'm always here. If there is anything I can help with, please don't hesitate to ask for help. And Moza, if there is nothing else you want to add, I would like to take my chance and say a few words to thank people in our team, and then we can say goodbye.
Thank you so much. It was a great opportunity.
Thank you very much, dear. And I would like to take my chance, thank our wonderful team, Salma Al-Mansouri, Fadillah Ghani, Mariam Al-Zabi, Fatima Al-Balushi, and Aryam Al-Riyami, and Amatul Nasiri for this great contribution and help for the exhibition. Last but not least, I would like to take my chance to thank Nassim Pashi also. She couldn't make it for today, but she was with us during the residency. And thanks again to all you wonderful artists for showing your work and sharing your experiences with us today. And visit the exhibition at www.irprojects.com. The exhibition will run until 18th June 2023. Okay, guys, I wish best of luck for you and hope to see you soon.